The University of Graz, a university located in Graz, Austria, is the largest and oldest university in Styria, as well as the second largest and second oldest university in Austria. Karl-Franzens-Universität, also referred to as the University of Graz, is the city's oldest university, founded in 1585 by Archduke Charles II of Austria. For most of its existence it was controlled by the Catholic Church, and was closed in 1782 by Emperor Joseph II in an attempt to gain state control over educational institutions. Joseph II transformed it into a lyceum where civil servants and medical personnel were trained. In 1827 it was reinstituted as a university by Emperor Francis I, thus gaining the name Karl-Franzens-Universität, meaning Charles Francis University. Over 30,000 students are currently enrolled at this university. The university is subdivided into 6 different faculties, the 2 largest ones being the Faculty of Arts and Humanities and Faculty of Natural Sciences. The other faculties are the faculties of Law, Social and Economic Sciences, Environmental, Regional Sciences and Education, and Catholic Theology. The Faculty of Medicine has been separated from the university by state legislation in 2004 and has since become an independent university in the form of the Medical University of Graz. These 6 distinct faculties offer a wide range of undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral degree programs, as well as special teaching degrees in their specific areas of expertise. Since its reinstallation, the university has been home to many internationally renowned scientists and thinkers, even though its position in international rankings has been in steady decline due to a lack of sufficient funding of educational institutions by the Austrian government. Ludwig Boltzmann was professor at the University of Graz twice, once from 1869 to 1873 and once from 1876 to 1890, while he was developing his statistical theory of heat. Nobel laureate Otto Loewi taught at the university from 1909 until 1938, and Victor Franz Hess graduated in Graz and taught here from 1920 to 1931 and 1937 to 1938. Furthermore, the physicist Erwin Schröer-Paragraph-Dinger was briefly Chancellor of the University of Graz in 1936. The University of Graz does not have a distinct faculty of engineering, however. The Graz University of Technology, which is focused on engineering and technology, offers so-called inter-university undergraduate and postgraduate programs in cooperation with the university's Faculty of Natural Sciences under the name NAWI Graz. The main intention behind the cooperation was to avoid duplication of efforts and infrastructure, especially in cost-intensive subjects such as chemistry, industrial chemistry, physics, and geosciences, as both universities are located in close proximity to each other. Students enrolled in one of these programs attend lectures and seminars at both universities and are awarded a combined degree at the end of their studies. Because of the university's geographical location close to the Slovenian border and the 2 major Slovenian cities, Maribor and Ljubljana, it has traditionally attracted many students from Slovenia and served as a gateway to Southeast Europe for Austrian scholars, scientists and businesses. The establishment of the Department for Slovene Language and Literature at the University of Graz, for example, set the foundation for scholarly studies of Slovenian culture, literature, and language bundled in the so-called Slovene studies. International acclaim. In almost all international rankings, the position of the University of Graz has been in decline in the last decades, especially in all so-called cost-intensive subjects such as the natural sciences, mostly due to a lack of sufficient funding by the Austrian government. Consequently, the university ranks highest in the arts and humanities, coming 175th in the 2012 QS World University Rankings, whereas all other subjects areas are lag far behind, with the Faculty of Social Sciences ranking 335th and the Faculty of Natural Sciences ranking 284th. This tendency holds true for all state-funded universities in Austria, even including the 3 times as large University of Vienna. However, in the recently published Leiden ranking, which only asserts the volume and impact of publications, the University of Graz ranked 150th as the only Austrian university being listed in the top 200. Religious affiliation. Historically speaking, for most of its existence the University of Graz was controlled by the Catholic Church. Even after its re-installation in 1827 it took until 1848 for the university's basic principles to be readjusted in accordance with the ideals of Wilhelm von Humboldt and the Enlightenment, meaning that the university became autonomous from the state as well as the church and their influence as far as possible. The Faculty of Catholic Theology has been retained as a part of the university ever since it has been established. However, its importance in terms of students' numbers and influence in the board of the university has been diminishing ever since leaving the faculty as just one of 6 within the University of Graz. Evidently, relations between the Catholic Church, especially the local bishop, and the university's Faculty of Theology remain strong, yet general policy is not influenced by these connections. Interestingly, to demonstrate the university's independence and its shift of focus, the Christogram IHS on the very top of the university's seal has been replaced with the sun, symbolizing the Enlightenment and von Humboldt's ideas. Nobel Prize laureates. Wolfgang Ernst, 1920 in chemistry, studied in Graz in 1886, Fritz Pregel, 1923 in chemistry, in Graz 1913-1930, Julius Wagner von Jauregg, 1927 in medicine, in Graz 1889-1893, Erwin Schreer-Dinger, 1933 in physics, in Graz 1936-1938, Otto Louis, 1936 in medicine, in Graz 1909-1938, Victor Franz Hess, 1936 in physics, studied in Graz 1893 1906 and taught 1919-1931 as well as 1937-1938, Gerty Corrie, 1947 in medicine, in Graz before 1922, Ivo Andrea, 1961 in literature, received his doctorate in Graz in 1924, Karl von Frisch, 1973 in medicine, in Graz 1946-1950. Other well-known professors: Hermann Beitzke, pathologist, professor at Graz from 1922 to 1941, Leopold Beiwald, professor of physics, late 18th century, Ludwig Boltzmann, professor of mathematical physics 1869 to 1873 and physics 1876 to 1890, Ludwig Gumplerweitsch, taught administration 1897 1909, Rudolf von Jack, taught pediatrics 1887 1899, Ernst Mach, taught mathematics and physics 1864 67, Ernst Melli, philosopher, founder of Deontic Logic 1925 1942, Alexius Muyno, philosopher, founder of the Graz School of Phenomenological Psychology after 1894, Gustav Meyer, linguist and considered to be one of the founders of urbanology, as a discipline of study, professor since 1881, Rudolf von Scherer, religious law professor 1875 1899, Ludwig Karl Schmader, founder of the school's zoological museum, Roland Skull, chemist, professor at the university for some time between 1907 1914, Joseph Schumpeter, economist, later teaching at Harvard University, in Graz 1912-1914, Anton Wasmuth, professor of theoretical physics from 1893 to 1914, Alfred Wegener, the father of the continental drift theory, professor of geophysics from 1924 to 1930, Gustavo Einer, an Austrian geologist and paleontologist. Famous alumni: Ivo Andrea, Yugoslav writer and Nobel Prize laureate, Gabriel Anton, Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist, Count Anton Alexander von Auersperg, Austrian poet and politician, Miko Brzigar, Yugoslav economist, Zafet Butka, Albanian politician, Izida Kanka, Slovenian art historian and Yugoslav diplomat, Etban Henrik Koster, Slovenian politician, Monika Fludrinic, Austrian literary scholar, Karl Garakukai, Albanian linguist and folklorist, Juraj Hebdelia, Croatian writer, Emil Johann Lambert Heinricha, Austrian botanist, Archbishop Hieronymus II of Athens, Archbishop of Athens, Ernst Kaltenbrunner, prominent Austrian Nazi official, Janko Kurznik, Slovenian writer, Ferdinand Kona, Infinite Arc, Jesuit missionary and cartographer, Karol Lavria, Slovenian politician, Frank Miklovier, Austrian Slovenian. Linguist, Heinz Oberhammer, Austrian physicist, Vladimir Angstrom-Erbik, Slovenian architect, Nikola Tesla, Serbian inventor, physicist, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, and futurist, Lovro Toman, Slovenian politician, Franz Unger, Austrian paleontologist, Leopold von Sacher-Masoch, Austro-Ukrainian journalist and writer of masochism, Gregory Weeks, jurist and historian, Milan Zver, Slovenian sociologist and politician. See also, University Library of Graz, List of colleges and universities, List of early modern universities in Europe, Utrecht Network. References. Further studies, Haar paragraph Flechner, Walter. Wagner, Ingrid Maria. Geschichte der Karl-Franzens-Universität Graz, von der Namenverkurrenzung bis in das Jahr 2005. Grazer Universität Verlag. ISBN 3-7011-0058-6. External links, University of Graz website, video portrait of University of Graz, Institute of Geography and Regional Science Karl-Franzens-Universität Graz Center for Southeast European Studies Karl-Franzens-Universität Graz, University of Graz History from the Catholic Encyclopedia, pictures from Graz.